Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be going over my favorite action figures that came out this year. First up, these are kind of like an honorable mention. These are the Plunder Strong and Plunder Longs from Lone Coconut. I just like the Plunderlings that previously came out a little bit better overall. These are still a lot of fun though. They're very cartoony and pose pretty well for what they are, and I just enjoy having more goblin figures around. So I thought these deserve to at least be mentioned. Next up is the Furry Planet Master Wang from Mestro Union. The paint and sculpt on this figure are fantastic. It has some cool accessories, and really the only thing keeping it from being higher on my list is that I don't play with it a ton. I kind of just pose it and then set it on a shelf. One of the reasons for that is that the hands are rather difficult to swap out and require a hairdryer each time, but it's still a great looking figure and I'd still recommend it despite that. Next is the Mezco Attakus Doom Necroverse Edition. I just love Attakus Doom. He's just a weird little skeleton guy. This one has a lot of cool accessories that come with it. It has a glow-in-the-dark feature. Its forearms are translucent green plastic, which I think is really neat. And he's just as fun to play with as the first Attakus Doom. This one came out pretty early in the year, and I like the original Attakus Doom a bit more than this one. That mostly comes down to the color scheme. I just prefer the variation in colors for the first Attakus Doom, but I use a lot of the accessories from this one for the original Attakus Doom. So that's why it didn't make it super far on the list, but I still really love this figure and think it's great. Next up is the Figura Obscura Mask of the Red Death from Four Horsemen Studios. This figure has some really nice soft goods. I love the variation in the reds. The dripping mask is super cool, and it has a gross sculpt going on underneath that. The body poses pretty well, and even though you can't see it because most of it's covered up by the cloth, it has a really cool sculpt under there as well. And it's based on a cool story by Edgar Allan Poe. So this was a great figure to come out during spooky season and to have with other spooky themed figures. And I just think it looks really cool. It maybe doesn't pose as well as some of the other figures on the list, but I still think it's great and I like it a lot. Plus it came with a grandfather clock, and that's really cool as well. Up next is the SH Figuarts Kakashi from Naruto. This is my favorite Naruto character, but all the Naruto characters that SH Figuarts put out this year were pretty great. The articulation is really good on this figure. The sculpt is also fantastic. He comes with some fun accessories like the book you can see here, and he's just fun to pose around and play with. If I had to nitpick, maybe it would be that he doesn't come with effect parts. But even without that, I still think it's a great figure and a wonderful representation of the character. I didn't put it super high on the list because it was a little bit pricey, but I still like it a lot. So if you're a fan of Naruto and like one of the characters they put out this year, you could slot that one in here as my recommendation. Next is the SH Figuarts Gabby Maru from Hell's Paradise. I didn't expect to like this figure as much as I did. I got it pretty late in the year, so it made it just in time to sneak its way onto the list. This year I read all of the Hell's Paradise manga, and the anime also came out this year. I really enjoyed both of those, so after reading them, I was looking forward to getting the figure but didn't have high hopes for him. SH Figuarts can kind of be hit or miss on new lines, but this one ended up being really fun to pose. It has all the articulation I would want, and nothing's really limited on it. It's not the most exciting looking figure, but it is accurate to the character. If anything, they maybe could have included some fire effect parts. That would have been really cool. But overall, I think it's great. It seems to be on sale pretty often, so it's not super expensive either, if you can find it on sale, that is. So I definitely recommend this one if you like Hell's Paradise or you like ninjas, and I recommend just giving Hell's Paradise a try in general. I almost put Chainsaw Man on the list, but I had a couple annoyances with parts of him that just wouldn't stay on, so Gabby Maru beat him out there. If you really don't want to give Hell's Paradise a try, and you don't like the look of Gabby Maru, the SH Figuarts Chainsaw Man could be an alternative for this spot. Next is the amazing Yamaguchi Kirishima from My Hero Academia. Kirishima is one of my favorite characters from My Hero Academia, and Amazing Yamaguchi's been doing a fantastic job with all the My Hero Academia figures. They always have great articulation. The sculpts are getting better with each release they do, and I usually don't have a ton of complaints about any of them, so I was just super excited to finally get a Kirishima figure. I also love that Kirishima came with parts to swap out for his unbreakable form. Maybe a minor annoyance is that you have to swap the parts and it isn't just an alternative torso, but that doesn't bother me too much because I still really enjoy the figure and just was hyped to get Kirishima as an action figure finally. If you're not the biggest fan of Kirishima though, and you're looking for a recommendation for other My Hero Academia figures, Hawks and Endeavor also came out this year. They were also both very good. I just didn't want to bog the list down with a bunch of My Hero figures from the same line. Next is the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Lexion from Sparrow Toys. This figure is a ton of fun. I love the asymmetric armor and the design of this one in particular, but there are other characters available in this line as well. I think this is definitely one of the best new action figure lines that come out this year, and I'm looking forward to what they make in the future. It's pretty affordable at about $35. It's a lot of fun to pose and play with. It has plenty of paint. All the figures from this line come with a few cool accessories and weapons. I think if you want to get one action figure from this list and you don't want to spend a ton of money, try to get one of these. I really love the design of Lexion. I just like an anthropomorphic cat. I think all its spots and the orange and brown armor looks really cool. But if you don't like the look of this one in particular, there are others as well. Currently mostly primates and cats, but I believe in the future they're going to do some hyenas and wolves. I think there's also some rabbits and birds they're working on. So yeah, this line is really fun and I recommend it. Next is the Mezco Bartholomew Vex. If you saw my review of this figure, then it probably isn't a surprise that he's on the list. I was really looking forward to this figure coming out and it didn't disappoint. It's just really cool. I just love a goat guy. Mezco always does a great job with the accessories, and this one's no exception. It comes with a bunch of cool ones, but I particularly enjoy the snail bag it came with. I don't have a ton more to say about it that I didn't already say in the review, but I feel like if they make another version of this character, I'm probably going to get that as well. He's just a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying him. These next two were so close. Honestly, either of them could be the top figure, but I had to choose an order to put them in, so here's the Furry Planet Veteran William from Mestro Union. This figure was such a fun surprise this year. I got it around Halloween because I wanted a werewolf figure for spooky season, and I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. It comes with a bunch of accessories, so you have the option to display him as a full werewolf or just a wolf man with a coat and weapons. The paint and sculpt are fantastic. It poses really well. The fur collar parts are a nice soft plastic so they don't get in the way. It's just a lot of fun. My wife also pre-ordered me the exclusive white version for Christmas, so I'm really hyped to get that one as well. Mestro Union has some more figures coming out in this line in the future, and I'm looking forward to those just because I like this figure so much. So it's definitely a brand I'm going to keep an eye on and probably purchase more figures from in the future. Finally, we have the Nota Collections Enveloped Yalmo Series Wukong. I got this figure very early in the year, and it's been on my desk the whole year since. It's just really fun to pick up and pose, and it looks great as well. This was also before I started doing figure reviews on the channel, so I haven't really showed it off in depth, but it's fantastic. It has great articulation. He comes with some fun accessories like a banana, and a couple different staffs, one that's straight and then one that's bent so it looks like he's swinging it. The soft goods are some of the best I've seen. There's weathering all over them with either paint to make it look like dirt or small tears or tattered edges, so the clothes just look really worn and lived in. All the joints have something to cover them up to give it a seamless look. He has a scarf that covers the neck. The sleeves come down over the elbows so you can't really see the elbow joints even when they're bent. It even came with little elastic cuffs to cover up the ball joints on the wrists. The eyes are super detailed and glossy, so they look really lifelike. And I just feel like this figure would be great for photographers since just in general it looks so lifelike overall. It has so many cool things going on. They have two other figures as well, so if Wukong doesn't look super appealing to you, then maybe one of the other two might. And honestly, I'm tempted to pick one of those up just because I've had such a great time with this figure this year. So that's going to do it for my list. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite figures from this year were, and if you plan on getting any of the figures off of my list. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.